Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this one, and it is going to be against Bastee, another random person offline. So as you can see, I'm using the same team that I was using in the last game, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at what they're using. Alright, so that seems to be a very strong and well-balanced team there. So pretty interesting too. So what do I want to lead with here? I think I am actually going to go with the wheezing. Seems pretty good. And we'll see how that works out. So there he is, and he is going to go ahead and lead with the Flygon. So that's not exactly what I was expecting, as I led with the wheezing, but that's actually pretty good for me still. So he does have quite a few resistances, but I think I am just going to go ahead and play it safe right out of the gate and go for that strange steam. And he's actually going to U-turn. So I am max physical defense, and I do resist that X4, so that's not going to do anything to me at all, hardly. And he does get the mandatory switch, so off of that, he is going to be coming in with, let's see here, the Galvantula. Okay, that's fine. So going to hit this thing with a strange steam, and that is going to knock this thing to about quarter HP, and I do get the confusion, which is really nice, actually, and I will regain the rest of my HP with the black sludge. So, kind of have a choice to make here, because I really wouldn't want to take an electric attack from this thing, but he might predict my switch and just try to set up the sticky web. So I think I'm going to predict that and just try to hit him with a flamethrower to take him out. Hopefully he doesn't just go straight for the attack. But no, he's actually going to go for the switch, not wanting to risk hitting himself in the confusion. So he's going to switch into the Toxapex, which is bad news since I do go for the flamethrower. So that is going to do basically nothing to this thing. But I actually do get a burn, which is not bad. So that is going to mitigate his black sludge recovery, which is nice. So he won't be gaining any extra from that every turn. But I am definitely going to have to switch out here since I don't have any moves to hit this thing with whatsoever. So what do I want to come in with? Not sure. A couple different options right now, but I think the safest one is good old Mr. Herbert the Drampa. That is what I'm going to do. So there it is, ready to go, and he's just going to go for a Toxic Spike, so that's not good. He's going to get that set up on me. Then he's going to regain that health with the black sludge, and then lose it right back to the burn damage. So I think he does have the electric immunity, but I think I'm just going to go for the Specs Thunderbolt here and hope he stays in, hoping he can take an attack from me. And indeed he does, and I do outspeed this thing, so this thing is not going to like a Specs Thunderbolt, and he does just barely survive that in the red with like 1 HP, which sucks. He does go for the Scald, does virtually nothing to me. Unfortunately, he does get that black sludge recovery before the burn damage, which does allow him to hang on, which really sucks. So he's probably going to figure that is Specs damage looking at that, so I don't think there's any way he stays in at this point. So I am going to preemptively switch here into my wheezing, hoping that he's going to try to come in with the Flygon. So he is going to switch, and indeed he is going to switch in with the Clefable, actually, so that's interesting, but that's okay. So I do have moves for this thing, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and make the obvious play and go for the Sludge Bomb. He does have some switch-ins for it, but he is just going to stay in and take it. So the Sludge Bomb will hit him down by a little more than half, and I do get the Poison, actually, so that's nice. So definitely a couple hacks working in my favor. He's going to go for a Teleport. So that's interesting. That's just going to give him a mandatory switch. So that is definitely an interesting play, but he is going to get a switch advantage on me. So off of that, he's going to come in with the Galvantula. So now I'm kind of in the same position that I was in before, because I don't want to let this thing set up Sticky Web, but at the same time, I don't want to take an electric attack from it either. So kind of a little bit of a judgment call that I'm going to have to make on my part here. I stayed in last time, so I might just actually go for the switch this time. So I think I'm going to switch into my Drampa, Mr. Herbert. Plus, Wheezing is my only way of getting rid of the hazards, so I don't really want to take a strong electric attack at this point. So there it is, and I'm going to take the normal poison on the Drampa. Unfortunately, he does go for the Thunder, so thankfully I did switch out there. And I do resist that, but even so, that still does quite a bit of damage. And he is going to take some Life Orb damage, it looks like, there. So I'm going to take poison damage, which leaves me at about half. So I don't really know if I can survive another attack, but I have no choice but to kind of stay in and hope that I can. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Specs Hyper Voice. It should do great damage to anything. He is actually just going to take this opportunity to go to the Sticky Web, though, to get that entry hazard set up on me. So that's not great, but I'm just going to take this thing out now with a Hyper Voice, so at least it's gone. That will knock him down to 5 Pokemon, as I do take more poison damage. So at least his setter is gone, so if I can get in with Wheezing and I can get rid of those hazards, then he won't be able to reset, so that's good. So he is going to come in with the Obstagoon now, and really no reason for me to switch at this point. I'm just going to stay in and go for the Hyper Voice. He's just going to go for the Close Combat straight away, and that will definitely take me out from that range. So he's going to get his defenses dropped from that, as that drops me down to 5 Pokemon, and he is going to get burned, so that is going to reveal the Flame Orb, actually. So that's not great. What do I want to come in with to try and counteract that thing? Hard to predict what kind of set he might potentially have. I think my safest play is probably to just come in with the S-Cavalier here. Hopefully he's not packing a fire move, because if he is, that would be pretty terrible. So he does have that set up now, so that's definitely pretty scary. But I think I'm just going to go for the Mega Horn. Hopefully he doesn't have a fire move, and hopefully I don't miss. So he's actually just going to go for the switch. So that's interesting. He's going to come in with the Toxapex at basically as fodder. So I do go for the Mega Horn. It does connect. No Regenerator on the Toxapex, which is interesting, actually. But that is going to get rid of the Toxapex and drop him down to 4 Pokemon. So that actually did work out pretty well. Even if he did have Regenerator, I don't know if he would have gained enough HP to survive an attack at that range, but who knows. In any event, now he's going to come in with the the Fire Starter, of course, and that's definitely going to force me to switch out the Cinderace. So I might just come in with my Cinderace, actually. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, well, I could come in with my... Yeah, I think I'm just going to come in with my Cinderace at this point. So, predicting the fire move, going to come in with my Cinderace, and I'm going to get Toxic Poisoned, actually. I almost forgot about that, and I am going to get the speed reduction off the Sticky Web as well. So he's going to go for a Pyro Ball, and that is going to take me down by about a third, so not terrible. I am going to take some poison damage then as well. So I know he's going to outspeed me, so I think I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch here. Hopefully I can get some good damage on this thing. And indeed I will. I knock him down to about half off of that, as I do take some Life Orb recoil damage. He's going to go for another Pyro Ball, so he might be Choice Item locked into that, or maybe he doesn't have any better moves, but either way, that's actually just going to take me out and drop me down to 4 Pokemon. But I kind of needed to get a clean switch here into my Weezing, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And because I'm levitating, I'm going to dodge all of the hazards. And I think at this point, I kind of just have to get rid of those hazards because they could be definitely big trouble for me. He's going to stay in and go for a Pyro Ball. I have max physical defense here, so that takes me down by about exactly half, as I'm going to hit him with that Defog. So that is going to give him the evasion drop, but more importantly, get rid of the Toxic Spikes and the Sticky Web off of my side of the field. So at this point, I think it's going to be a roll as to whether I can survive. Yeah, I think it's going to be a roll as to whether I can survive another one of those, but I think I kind of just have to stay in here, hope I can take one, and go for a Sludge Bomb. He's just going to go for it again, and hopefully I can take it. We'll find out. Yes, I do take it with 7 HP in the red. He gets the burn off of it as well. Then I'm going to nail him with a Sludge Bomb in return, and that is going to get rid of the Cinderace there and drop him down to 3 Pokemon, so that is awesome. Weezing coming through there as I do regain the HP from the Black Sludge and then take the damage from the burn. So got rid of the hazards, that was pretty huge, and got rid of the Cinderace as well, which is also huge. So now he's going to come in with the Obstagoon once again, and there's really no point in switching. Just going to go for a Strange Steam, probably not going to land. Since he will more than likely there, he's just going to go for the knockoff, and that will be more than enough to finish me off from that range, and going to get rid of my Black Sludge, obviously. So that's going to drop me down to 3 Pokemon as well, and he does take that burn damage. So I think I'm going to go ahead and come in with the Escavalier here. Once again, since he switched, I'm guessing he doesn't pack the fire move for me, which would be awesome. So he still has a couple of switch-ins possibly. I really don't want to miss a Mega Horn. That would be devastating right now. I think I'm just going to go for the Iron Head. He probably doesn't stay in here regardless, so the Iron Head will be guaranteed good damage on whatever he switches into, if he does switch, and it might actually even take this thing out if he does stay in, since its defenses aren't that great, and Escavalier's attack is very high. So he actually is going to stay in and go for a Facade. That's interesting. So he's going to hit me down by about a third with that. I am going to nail him with the Iron Head in return, which is only going to take him down by a little more than half, so not even close to a one-hit KO, but I'm going to get that Leftovers recovery, as he is going to take more burn damage. So another one from that range will definitely take him out, I believe, based on the initial damage. He is just going to stay in and knock off, and that is just about going to take me out, actually, but I do live on 10 HP. Hit him with another Iron Head, and that is enough to take out the Obstagoon. That is going to drop him down to 2 Pokemon, which is great. So just barely getting the better of a lot of these exchanges here, as now he is going to come back in with the Flygon. So just going to go for a knockoff of my own here. No reason not to, although I'm probably not going to get to attack him. But no, he's actually going to Dragon Dance. That's interesting. So he is actually going to try to set up in my face. So he's going to get that attack and speed increase as I do go for the knockoff. So that's going to take him down by a little more than half and get rid of his Lumberry. So that's interesting. He's packing that. So was able to get a big shot off on him because he decided to set up. So he's just going to go for an Earthquake this time around. And from that range, that will be more than enough to take out the Escavalier there and to drop me down to 2 Pokemon, but that's okay. I am going to go ahead and come in here with the Inteleon, Lord Frieza, hopefully here to save the day. I don't know if I can outspeed him at +1, but I am Sash, so I know I can survive any attack that he goes for. So we'll find out who is faster than who here. And he's definitely thinking about this one. He is set up, so I can't imagine he would want to switch out at this stage in the game, since he does have the Dragon Dance setup. And he actually does outspeed me, nails me with an Outrage, and that will drop me all the way down to the Focus Sash, which does allow me to survive that hit. And I am going to nail him with an Ice Beam in return, and that will definitely take him out from that range. So that is going to knock him down to just one Pokemon, which is great. So his last Pokemon, I believe, is going to be the Clefable, and this thing is pretty worn down, so gonna just go for the Scald here. Not sure if it'll take him out from that range, depending on his set. I am max special attack. He's actually just gonna Protect here. Not exactly sure why, since he is poisoned, so that's really just gonna eat a turn for no reason, honestly. He's gonna get that Leftovers recovery, but that's just going to be negated by the poison damage. Oh no, it's not actually, because he has Magic Guard. Okay, I almost forgot about that. Alright, so I guess that was a smart play then. So just going to Scald. He's hoping to survive a Scald here, and he is able to survive in the red, unfortunately. Gonna go for that Wish, actually, to go ahead and get that HP restoration. So going to regain some more HP from the Leftovers. So yeah, this game is not over yet, actually, because he is going to Protect here, and that will get him the guaranteed Wish off. So, or I could just Dynamax and blow him away with a Water move, but he hasn't Dynamaxed yet, so I don't know if I really want to, because I try to play the gentleman's game with Dynamaxing, with not doing it if they don't do it. But, so yeah, I'm just going to go for the Scald. So he is just going to Protect. But if there ever was a time to Dynamax, that would have definitely been it. So he is going to get the Wish resolving there, unfortunately. But he can't really stall me out like this forever, because eventually he is going to have to go for an attack, which is going to leave him vulnerable to an attack on my side. So I'm just going to keep going for the Scalds here. I'm going to be able to nail him with that, and that is going to hit him down to the red, actually. He's just going to go for another Wish here, so he's really just wasting time here. And actually, to expedite this process, I might just Dynamax myself just to end this, which I think is what I'm going to do, so we don't run out of time, because he is just going to stall the game out at this point if I don't, and there's only 3 minutes left on the clock. So we're just going to go for the Dynamax here, because the end result of this game essentially will be he has to either not Wish or not Protect on one turn in order to take my Inteleon out. And if he does that, then that will leave him vulnerable to being KO'd by my Gallade, my last Pokemon in the back, next turn. So there it is, the Dynamaxed Inteleon. He does Protect, but because of the way the Dynamax works, I'm going to hit him with the Max Geyser, and he won't be able to fully protect himself. And it's actually not enough. Wow, that's actually not enough to take him out, so that sucks. So I guess he is definitely a specially defensive variant there, so the Wish is going to resolve there. Then he gets more HP recovery from the Leftovers, so yeah, this is obnoxious. We are running out of time here, so he's going to go for the Dynamax as well. And there is the Dynamaxed Clefable. So I'm going to hit him up with, he's actually, nope, just going to Max Guard to burn another turn. So I guess he's intent on just stalling this game out for whatever reason. even though in doing so he just ensures his own defeat. Because I'm up 2-1, and even if he does take the Inteleon out, I will end with more HP than he does. So basically, so he's going to go for another Max Guard, trying to get the double Max Guard. It's not going to work, as I am going to hit him with the Max Geyser, Rain boosted, and it is not going to be enough once again, unfortunately, to take this thing out, because Clefable is just too bulky for that, unfortunately. But that is going to be my last turn of Dynamax. So I'm going to go back to regular Inteleon, and we'll see what he wants to do here. Just going to Scald. Who knows if he's going to try to stall out with another... Yep, he's just going to go for another Max Guard. So I guess he is hell-bent on stalling this game to the very end for no reason, despite the fact that it will end in his defeat. I don't know why he would want to do that, but I guess that's what he wants to do. So that's the last turn for his Dynamax as well. Let's see if he even makes a play with about 20 seconds left on the clock anyway. And he is going to make a play, and he's just going to protect, but it is going to fail, actually. Thank the Lord. One more Scald to go ahead and finally take the Clefable, the annoying stalling Clefable, out. And that is game. With just a few seconds left on the clock, we're going to get a 2-0 victory there over Bastee. But that was a... very competitive match, very close. Definitely incredibly stally toward the end there, which is something that you really don't see at all here on Sword and Shield in Gen 8, thanks to the new timer rules and all that. So, but yeah, it's just not a winning game that you want to play with, trying to stall out. But in any event, thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.